Now we have Miss Edwards. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, NAACP, for hosting this event. I want to say hello from Cobb County, Georgia, home of uh, our own Chair Emeritus, President Emeritus, Dr. Jareen Bonner and her daughter, who are running the NAACP and doing tremendous work in Cobb County. I've been a part of the NAACP all my life, and I thank you guys for hosting this event. I'm Shelia Edwards, and I'm the Democratic nominee for the Georgia Public Service Commission. And in 2022, I ran for the PSC, won the primary, and was moving on to the general election, and they took our races off the ballot. And many of you may remember this. They took the Democrats off the ballot, left the Republicans in place, and six or seven rate increases later, we are where we are. They disenfranchised your vote that year. And so we fast forward to now, and I decided to put my name back on the ballot. And I won the primary again without a runoff. And so I'm here to say, I'm here to finish the job that I started. I ran in 2022 because I was concerned about the utility bill that I received. I live alone, and I got a bill almost $400. And I was shocked by that. And I called Georgia Power up and I asked what was going on. And they said the bill was right. And I said, no, it's not. And that's when I went to work to find out that it was the PSC that was making decisions for Georgia Power to continuously increase our rates. So rate increase after rate increase after rate increase, somebody was there rubber stamping that and passing that on to us as ratepayers. And I decided then to run for myself. And this year I decided to run for everybody in Georgia because we've got to stop this constant rate increase that's happening to us. You know, Georgia Power is now advertising that they're lowering your rates. Well, if you look at your bill, if you've gotten your bill over the last couple months, you see your rates have not gone down; they've gone up. So they want to play this Jedi mind trick on you that somehow you're getting lower bills. We're not. And so when I become the third member of the PSC, I'm going to change the trajectory of what's going on with the Public Service Commission. I'm going to put the public back into the Public Service Commission by stopping those rate increases on day one and challenging Georgia Power to come up with a better mousetrap. We turn around and we look at data centers that are overpopulating our state. It's because the decision makers at the top have allowed the floodgates to be open. So they're coming in, they don't have to pay any bills, any taxes, anything. All of that gets pushed onto you and I as ratepayers, as consumers of the utilities. And that utility is a monopoly, one company along with a handful of EMCs that are doing this to us. And so we, again, need better decision makers on the Public Service Commission. You know, a lot of folks look at me and wonder about my background. I've got a background in government on a local, state, and federal level. I've got a background in corporate America. I've got a background in the community, and I've got a background in technical matters, having worked at Kennedy Space Center for Lockheed on the space shuttle program, where I helped to return the flight after Challenger blew up. So a lot of folks look at this situation and wonder who should be in this role. It should be somebody who's advocating for you, the taxpayer, advocating for you, the regular citizen. We've got a situation in our state where people are getting their powers turned off on the hottest days of the summer or the hottest or the coldest days of the winter. And in order to get their powers turned back on, they have to come up with the reconnection fee. This is not right. It's not fair. And you turn around and you look at who's been in charge over the last 20 years, from the governor to the state house to the Senate and the PSC. It's been people on the other side. And in order for us to get a change in what's going on with our rates, we have to change that trajectory. We have to make sure that we flip the PSC so that it's caring about people, not private utilities, that is focusing in on the day-to-day quality of life situation for citizens of Georgia. We look at the data centers and they're putting them in communities that are marginalized, the Black and brown communities, anything south of I-20. But the funny thing about it is they're now putting it in the other communities. And so folks are worried about this across the board. So we have to turn around and make sure we're making decisions for our state, for our citizens that are impactful to our quality of life. And as we move forward, we can do that. We can change what's going on. You look at the solar program. They create a program with 5,000 slots that people fight over each year. But it's millions and millions of people in the state of Georgia. They don't mean for you to do anything different. And if you don't think that things can happen to major cities, look at what's going on in Gary, Indiana. They've been without utilities for 2 weeks, and they have nobody coming to their aid. So you absolutely have to have somebody on the Public Service Commission that is championing your issues, the issues of people, making sure that our utilities are in place, that we're doing the right things and making the right decisions that are going to take us into the uh, next year, the year after that, when rate increases are back on the table, we have to be thinking about all of these things. And so, again, I applaud the NAACP for always being at the forefront, always championing the issues, always leading by example. Because with your history and with my experience going forward, we're going to change what's happening in Georgia. And again, I thank you for hosting this event. I thank you for being the leaders that you all are. And I yield the rest of my time back to you and your organization. Thank you.